Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today we're going to look at how we lie and how you can actually see this in a Bazi chart. Now we all are guilty of this. We all lie every now and then, white lies or maybe lies by omission, but lies are just a part of our lives. And it doesn't mean that it's always something super, super serious. Maybe we just don't want to talk about certain things and then we just lie by omission, or we just don't give all the details. But sometimes a lie can be really, really detrimental. And in a Bazi chart, you can actually see how people tend to lie or what their sort of giveaways are. And so this is what we're going to look at today. Now, first things first, you need to plot your Bazi chart. So you can go to this link here. I will also post it in the description to this video. So just copy paste and then plot your Bazi chart. Now, you don't need your time of birth for this. Just enter your date of birth and then that's fine. And that's plenty of information for this particular analysis. Now, in order to analyze how a person lies or what their giveaways are, we actually look at the main T in the hidden stems. Now, what that means for the lay people is you look at the day pillar and you have a box that is the stem, you have a box that's the branch, and then you've got the hidden stems. So you need to look at the center character in the hidden stems of the day pillar. Now, in this particular case, there's only one. So obviously, this is the one you look at. So this is Yiwood, and it's called indirect resource for this particular person. But in some cases, you have three hidden stems here. Then you take the middle one, the center one. It's the one that is written slightly larger than the others. And in some cases, you may have two. And in that case, you take the one that is on the left. So that's also written slightly in a slightly bigger font than the other. So that's the main T of the day pillar. So this is what you need to look at. And specifically look here at these letters. This is what we call the 10 gods. In this case, it's IR, indirect resource. Now, this is what will tell us how a person tends to lie or what the signs of lying could be. And again, it doesn't always have to be something serious, especially when it comes to relationships, right? We always think like, oh my God, if my partner lies, then it has to have something to do with an affair or a third party. But there are many other lies that we tell in a relationship, right? You can tell your partner, yes, this food is great, when you actually hate it. Or, maybe you lie around your career about money issues. So it's not always just anything to do with an affair, right? When it comes to relationships. But obviously, this analysis goes beyond just relationships. It can also be used in business context or in friendships or within the family. So check what you have there in the main T. Now, if you have hurting officer or eating god, that would be the output element. Now, people who have this in the main T of their day pillar, they're usually quite vocal and they always have something to say about everything. But if they're lying or if there's something that is not quite true, they will change the topic and they just move the goalposts or they redirect attention to something completely different. Suddenly they're not that vocal anymore about this particular topic that you started talking about. They will very, very quickly redirect to something else and divert your attention. And so then you can see, okay, so that's a sensitive topic there. What is it that they're uncomfortable with? And it's likely, so especially if you do want to trip them up in a lie or whatever, then there's definitely something that they're hiding. Doesn't mean that it's super serious, right? So it could just be something that they're really embarrassed about, and that's why they don't want to talk about it. But the moment they change a topic or divert attention, you know that there's something fishy out there and that they're not quite truthful about it. Now, if they have direct wealth or indirect wealth, so DW or IW, this is a person who is usually quite good at looking at the situation objectively and analyzing all the details. But when they start becoming anxious, just like slightly anxious, micro anxiety is what we call it, or they display annoyance when a particular topic comes up, then you may have caught them in a lie, or you may have caught them in something that they don't want to talk about. They will likely say something like, oh, you just don't understand what it's all about, or you just don't understand the circumstances, or you just not quite familiar with the details. Yeah, they're just sort of like putting the blame for not understanding what's going on you, rather than saying what it's really all about. Or they may be smiling when they are not supposed to smile, like their facial expressions and their body language will not match or will not be congruent with what they actually say. So this like slightly stressed out body language, micro anxiety, is something that will tell you that something is going on there. There's more to it than meets the eye. All right, so this is when they have direct wealth or indirect wealth in the main seed. Now, if there is direct officer or 7 killings, so DO or 7K, these are people who tend to be quite confrontational anyway, but when they are caught in a lie, they kind of feel threatened. And then they immediately go into attack mode. It could be passive aggression, but it could also be just real aggression. Maybe they yell at you, or they start going into the extreme offensive when they're just suddenly out of nowhere, they're just going to put all the blame for something on you. And all you did was just raise a particular subject or raise a particular topic, and they immediately get angry. Yeah, so there's definitely something that they don't want to talk about, lying by omission, most likely. But obviously it can be more than that. It could be a bit more serious than that, depending on how aggressive they become. But there's no more negotiation. There's no sort of willingness to actually talk about the subject matter. They just get louder and louder and more aggressive. Could be verbal aggression, but in extreme cases, like very extreme cases, especially if there's a 7 killings, 7K, it could be that they may also be physically aggressive, but that's very extreme cases. Yeah. So this is direct officer 7 killings. Now, if a person has direct resource or indirect resource in their main seed, in their spouse palace main seed, these are people who usually are very detail oriented and they talk everything through. Yeah, usually they like to really explore a subject matter. They like to really talk about everything. But when they suddenly stop talking about things, when they suddenly stop giving details, which they would usually give, then this is a sign that they're trying to hide something. So it's not necessarily an all-out lie. It's not that they're making things up. They're just completely ignoring or just refuse to talk about a subject matter. So lack of detail. And that's especially you will notice this right away, because direct and indirect resource people, they talk everything through. Yeah, it's a process for them. Everything needs to be talked about, looked at from every angle. If they suddenly stop doing that for a particular matter, subject matter that they used to be quite keen on talking about, you know that there's something up. And then lastly, we've got a friend and Rob Well, so F or RW. These people are usually very engaging and they love personal contact. And when they are caught in a lie, or when they are forced to lie, or have to deal with something that's not truthful, they usually avoid eye contact. So you know right away something is wrong when they can't look you in the eye. This is very easy to detect, because usually these people, friend and Rob Wealth in the main sea of the spouse palace, they want to be around people. They want to engage with people. They want to look you in the eye. They want to make that connection. And if suddenly they refuse to make that connection, even just on an eye level, eye contact level, you know that there's something that they are hiding, that they're not telling you, that they'd rather lie about, right? So this is how you detect a lie, or this is how we approach a lie, how we tend to react or behave when we're telling a lie. All right, I hope this helped you guys. Maybe you can observe this in yourself as well a little bit. Maybe course correct. Ideally, obviously, don't lie at all, but we all know that's not always possible. But at least you know now what your giveaway is. All right. So if you do have any comments, any questions, let me know in the comments below, or contact me directly. As always, my contact details are in the description to this video. And I would really appreciate it if you liked the video, if you shared it, and if you subscribe to my channel, because that really, really helps me reaching more people like you. All right, see you guys soon.